Exiled firebrand lawyer Miguna has lifted the lid on secrets and behind-the-scene intrigues preceding the dramatic swearing-in of opposition chief Raila Odinga as the people's president last year. In brief excerpts of his new book, Treason: The Case Against Tyrants and Renegades, Miguna describes Raila as a coward who strongly opposed his own swearing-in on January 30 last year. Miguna stated juicy poisonous details. In the end, Raila was sworn in during a brief ceremony when his NASA allies were absent. He says Raila was scared of the treason charges that President Uhuru Kenyatta's government had threatened, and says during some planning meetings, the former Prime Minister was trembling like a leaf. Raila was dissolving in fear, right before us. He was scared to death of the high treason charges Uhuru Kenyatta's minions like Attorney General Githurai Muigai had threatened us with, Miguna says in his book launched on Saturday in Toronto, Canada. He goes on to describe a conversation with businessman Jimmy Wanjigi, one of the key proponents of the Raila Oath, who had also concluded that the ODM leader was scared of the controversial swearing-in. Later, as we were walking to the elevator, Wanjigi turned to me and said, "General." Miguna styled himself General of the National Resistance Movement. When I looked at him, he started imitating a man shaking like a leaf. We all laughed, Miguna writes. According to Miguna's account, Raila's wife Ida and his elder brother Obaru Odinga were strongly opposed to the swearing-in. He claims that Raila's own children, Winnie and Junior, accused their mother and uncle of being bad influence on their dad. Niajem, Ida, and Obaru are also a big problem. They are the ones putting pressure on him not to be sworn in. Miguna quotes Raila Jr. as saying, adding that he sounded sad that his father was getting old feet. In his characteristic pugnacious style, the general uses his acid pen to viciously attack Raila and his allies. He describes a strategy meeting at Nairobi's Dusit Hotel in which Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho skipped the afternoon session. When I expressed shock that Governor Joho had not kept his word, Siaya Senator James Ongo's response was, "General, Governor Joho is not a man for such intellectual meetings. He has no ability to absorb details. He is an action-oriented man. Give him a task and he will deliver," he writes. Miguna recalls one tense strategy meeting in which Junior confronted his father and told him off, saying he risked betraying the aspirations of Kenyans. "Look at me, Dad," Junior persisted. "Look at me. Why do you think I have been attending these meetings all of a sudden? Ask yourself why." He fixed Raila with a stern gaze. There was total silence in the room. At that point, according to Miguna, Raila resorted to intimidating tactics, telling his son with his teeth clenched that he was a very experienced politician.